Help out the Dr.Wily channel by clicking the sponsor button below. This way you can financially support us and get some cool perks in the process. 100 years ago, a great evil known as the Calamity Ganon rose up and laid waste to the kingdom and its people. Unable to be defeated, it was sealed within Hyrule Castle while the ruins of the land were ravaged by nature over time. Although trapped, the Calamity Ganon has grown in power and it wants to break free once more and destroy the world completely. But Link awakens from a deep sleep and a mysterious voice guides him to discover what has become of the ruined kingdom of Hyrule. But what if that never happened? What would have happened to Hyrule and its people if Link never woke up, or not in time at least? Well, today we're going to find out what could have happened. Now, to figure this out, we will have to look at the following points that I think are very important. How could Ganon break free? What would he have access to in terms of weapons and forces? Who would get attacked first? And who could oppose him? So we basically start from the beginning and along the way move further into the possible scenario. Now we will start with his glorious escape from the fortress known as Hyrule Castle, where Zelda tries to keep him. When we go there as Link to stop him, we can already see that Calamity Ganon was hard at work to form a new body. You can see him in some sort of a cocoon in the middle of the throne room, using malice and ancient tech to become whole again. When Link came in, he was about to break free, so he got there just in time, and Ganon became some sort of giant scorpion beast. So if our hero never woke up, then it wouldn't have taken very long for the great evil in Hyrule Castle to break free. Now, what are Ganon's options when he finally does attack Hyrule? Well, he actually has a lot. First of all, he has an amazing base from the start. The entirety of Hyrule Castle was taken over by him and his minions after all. So from the very start, he has an army of ancient technology and monsters, and a giant strong fortress in a very key location. All the other kingdoms aren't that far away from Hyrule Castle, so he already has a huge advantage this way. But what about his other weapons and forces? Well, when you look into this, you will realize that he is incredibly powerful. As soon as he returns, he adds all the forces in and around Hyrule Castle to his army straight away. So this means he will have a number of Guardians, Peblets, Guardian Skywatchers, Keys, Lizalfos, Lynels, Moblins, and Bokoblins from the very start. As soon as he breaks free, he has a small army with a number of powerful beings that can destroy armies completely. After counting the amount of Guardians that function on Hyrule Field, we can determine that there are about 26 of them that could join his army straight away. Now we have already seen what Guardians can do if unleashed on a city. They completely burn it to the ground. Even Link will have a really hard time when facing a number of Guardians, as we have seen in the cutscene where he died. So knowing this, we can be certain that most normal soldiers stand no chance against them. But it doesn't end here. He can also use all the other beings found throughout the world, like Maldugas to attack the Gerudo, Hinoxes to destroy local villages, Stone Taluses to attack major cities, and more. Even if they could defeat these hordes of enemies, they will always make a return, thanks to the Blood Moon who revives them every time. It's a bit like fighting against an undead army. The more they kill, the better, and if any of them die, then they will come back anyway. So Calamity Ganon has nothing to lose really. He's incredibly powerful, has one of the best fortresses compared to all the other kingdoms, amazing troops, and can even revive his own troops. However, he does have one more trick up his sleeve. A weapon so incredibly powerful that it will make a victory for Hyrule forces nearly impossible. The mighty Divine Beasts, who are all under Ganon's control and even in a perfect position to attack every capital of the 4 races. And as we all know, they can shoot gigantic lasers, which would be an amazing opening move when attacking these kingdoms, while trying to reclaim them or retake them would be incredibly difficult for the forces of good. While getting through it and activating the terminals would be doable for them, defeating the Blights isn't. So clearly the weapons and forces to his disposal are insane. He was about to win after all before Zelda saved the day, so it does make sense. However, how would Calamity Ganon invade Hyrule once he is free? Well, let's have a look at the map and see how he could possibly do this. One important factor is where his forces are. So basically all the enemy camps, Guardians, Stone Taluses, Hinoxes, and way more. And by the looks of it, most of them are in Central Hyrule, the Great Plateau, Faron, and Necluda, so he will most likely clear these areas first, and these will be his first targets. Outskirt, Riverside, Wetland, Dueling Peaks, Lakeside, and Highland Stable will all fall in an extremely short amount of time. They also don't stand a chance against Ganon's forces, since they have quite minimal protection and almost no forces to defend. Once these are gone, he will probably move on to the bigger and harder to defeat settlements like Kakariko, Lurlin, and Ateno Village. And last but not least, he will move on to his main goal, taking out the Zoras for good. And they will literally lose everything, since they have fought some of Ganon's forces before, and it didn't go well at all, because a stray guardian crossed into the domain once and it seemed unstoppable. Even the best soldier's spears barely left a scratch on its metal hull. In the end, it was their king, who with supernatural strength lifted the guardian and hurled it into a ravine. However, if they would try to attack the domain using a number of them with supporting forces like the Lizalfos in the area, it's almost impossible for them to win. However, this isn't even necessary, because with the Divine Beast, he can just blow up the dam. It would completely destroy Zora's domain and cause a chain reaction that would send a significant amount of water throughout Hyrule. So by taking out the Zoras in such a way, he can make a huge move against the entirety of Hyrule. He might even destroy that place right away instead of attacking stables and villages, since all of those would be washed away. But who could survive this wave of evil that's trying to destroy the entire world? Well, the ones with the best survival chances are most likely the Gorons and Koroks, since the location where they live has an advantage. Death Mountain is hard to reach and is also dangerous with its insane amount of heat and lava everywhere, while the Korok Forest is surrounded by the Lost Woods, which most enemies can't get through. However, would any of them be able to face Calamity Ganon effectively and defeat him and his forces? Well, most likely not, and that's because of the ancient Sheikah technology. The Guardians and Divine Beasts can destroy almost anything. Even a place like Korok Forest will be destroyed after one major laser hit, because it will cause the entire forest to burn down. And while the Gorons might be safe from most normal enemies, there are still some in the area, and they also have to deal with their own Divine Beast. So really, without Link, they don't stand a chance. Even if Link woke up shortly after Calamity Ganon broke free, they would probably be defeated. His base is hard to get through since it's filled with enemies and malice, making it tough for Link as well, especially if he just woke up and needs to go there straight away. And as soon as he gets access to his forces across the entire map and can effectively guide them to their targets, it's all over. The armies of Hyrule are already crippled, and as we have seen in the flashback cutscenes, their main plan was to use the ancient Sheikah technology to beat him. But now that he has all of that, he has an incredible advantage, which you just can't do anything about. And we haven't even covered his ultimate form, Dark Beast Ganon. In this form, he could destroy Hyrule all on his own. Zelda even mentions this when you try to defeat it. She says this:
"He has given up on reincarnation and assumed his pure, enraged form. If set free upon our world, the destruction will be unlike anything ever seen before."
The only thing that could possibly save them is the gods themselves, since they also did so in the Wind Waker. Here, darkness was also spreading over the kingdom, and the people hoped that the hero would once again appear to save them. But the hero didn't come. As the evil came closer and closer, the king and his people prayed to the gods, leaving their kingdom in the hands of fate. The goddesses answered their prayers by instructing those chosen to flee for the mountaintops, before they flooded the entire land. Ganondorf and his minions were sealed along with Hyrule in an enchanted air chamber at the bottom of the sea, with the Master Sword serving as the key suspending the flow of time within the chamber. So it could be that this would happen again, although we can't be certain about this, since they also didn't help when Link lost originally. However, it's certainly possible. But we should be thankful that Link actually woke up and saved the day, because otherwise, Hyrule would most likely be doomed. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to watch more videos, be sure to click the annotations on the screen right now. Also, subscribe and click the bell button, because then you will make Wily very happy.